Hi, dorks.
Hey. I love that you're in bed right now or like laying down relaxing.
Oh, yeah. It's the only place to be. I'm going to put you on my chest because I'm so lazy that I don't want to use my arms.
That's fine.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. I mean, really the question, how are you, girl? I mean, you look like you're in a good state right there.
Yeah, I've got my friends around me, and that's my bodyguard, Adam, and I love him. And then I've got my son here with me, and but part of my family have gone back to LA because they had to do a bunch of work, like Maddie, and she's just released a makeup line, and Maddie Ziegler, that is, we're talking about.
Yes.
I know, so she's have been working her little tush off, which is just insane for a child. I can't believe how hard she works, and I don't like it.
Aw, but it's kind of cool. Does she kind of like trust
She
you?
she likes it, and she likes working, and I like, if she didn't, I'd be intervening, but she really does like her job. She loves to dance, she loves makeup, and this has been a dream of hers to have her own makeup line. So I'm happy to support her if she's happy, but I just don't want her to become one of those children that's working that isn't happy.
That's true. Has she ever come to you for advice on how to start,
We
a
talk
makeup
all
line?
the time about it. She never came to me. I've been like hammering it since she was 11 that she can stop whenever she wants to, and she just has to say the word, and that she can be a kid, and that she doesn't have to work, and that not other kids don't work and have normal lives, and that she can have that if she wants, and she just has to say the word.
That's very cool.
And that her talent isn't going anywhere, and her career isn't going anywhere, and she's so lucky she has the kind of career that she could disappear for 10 years and come back, and people would still take her just as seriously. So that's why I just try and reassure her that it's really up to her, and that it's not like most people fear, if they're on a good run, they better it's going to run out. There's a lot of fear of that in the world, that if you're on a good run, you better do it, and you better utilize every second
while
of it,
the pot is hot.
Yeah, exactly. And so I just try and remind her that in her case that's not the case, that she's basically she's done such good work, and she's worked so hard that she can literally go away and come back, and it wouldn't affect her career at all. So if she ever just wants to have a long holiday and be a child, that she should.
And here she is, just going off the momentum, but it's beautiful because she's going off her own will, and she has your support, and that's pretty cool.
Totally. I just keep making projects so that then I have to, I'm the director for so that I can protect her, so that she's basically always with me.
Hi, I always have a job for you. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm just right now. I'm writing her like a female assassin movie.
Very cool.
Every young actress needs one of those in order to gain foreign value. And so I was like, okay, what do I need to do for her next? So that's my main goal now, is just to make my friends' dreams come true.
That's awesome. Random question, but when you said the female assassin movie, have you seen The Old Guard on Netflix yet?
No. What's The Old Guard?
The Old Guard, you have to check it out, starring Charlize Theron, and she's just a badass. So.
Oh yeah, cool. I will. I'll check it out. I definitely will. I'm thinking like La Femme Nikita, Luc Besson.
I'm not familiar, but now I got to check that out.
It's amazing. Nikita. It's the original Luc Besson film, and then they made a TV series out of it in America. But the actual original film is just out of this world. It's outstanding. But yes, you like it. I think you'd like it. I think
that's why I loved
it.
The Old Guard. I was like, wow, we have two strong female leads. This is amazing. It's really good movie. You got to check it out.
Okay, great.
I wanted to tell you, I went to your show the last time you were here in Phoenix, and it was just a beautiful work of art, from everything you do, your vocals to your visuals, choreography, just all around amazing. So I wanted to ask you, what are some of the key essentials to building that vision with your team? with a
Uh,
room full of creatives?
well, I usually, it's pretty weird. Like, I just have the idea, it just drops in. Like, at the moment, I wouldn't tour because I don't have an idea. And they asked me if I would do Coachella, and I said no because I didn't have a good idea could be like, that was going to be different and good enough to be like
You don't want
exceptional.
to force it.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I don't want to do the same thing everyone else is doing, and yeah, so I said no, and then that idea came up I don't know how, it just came into my head. I can remember I was in New York with Spike Jones, and we were having lunch or dinner at my house, and yeah, and we were just talking about it, and I was saying I was thinking this idea of no cameras and like pre-filming and blah blah blah, and then he was saying, oh, maybe you could put actors in, and I was like, oh, that's a good idea, and I don't know, he was helpful too, because that was his idea to put actors into it, and so um, and 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 then it's just bossing people around in a nice way.
In a nice way. That's the essential point right there. In a
Yeah,
nice
I guess
way.
that it's really just, I realized now that was the sort of, that's directing. I didn't know if I was really a director because I had always co-directed with Daniel Askill. Since Chandelier, we directed that together, and so I was like, am I just a singer with good ideas, or am I also a director? Because he was a proper commercial director.
Mm.
And so I was like, is he the director or am I the director? Are we both directors? I can't tell. And now I realize that I was always a director, and we were co-directing, and because the movie I directed by myself, and so now I know 100% for sure I'm a director. But yeah, I think it was like, that's just the beginning of learning that um, that like, because most people have a creative director,
Mm-hmm.
but I am my own creative director. So like, there's a guy called Willow who he normally does, like, say, Kanye stuff, or sometimes he'll do Jay-Z or Beyonce, or or Rihanna, and he's the creative director. So like, he puts together ideas, and he presents them to the artist.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have a Willow. I just have myself. And so it's just, I realize now it's just about being a director, really. It's just about being able to express what you want and be nice about it.
I love it. Now, you're no doubt an esteemed writer. So I wanted to talk about some of your lyrics in your song Together and have you break down some of those real world analogies that you're talking about. Is that cool?
Yeah.
I just wanted to start off with the first verse because you came like hard in the first, like right off bat. You say, I can hear the thunder coming from your mouth, and I know my number's up. Give me some Stevie Wonder. Quick, put it on before we go under. I can see the lightning coming from your ears. Yeah, I see you frightened. I can see the lion sleep tonight and the tears you're crying. I was like, whew. I think she
It's so
read me. I don't know.
interesting. When you read those to me, I was like, I wrote those?
Yeah. It's different hearing it being read out as opposed to you singing them and feeling them.
Yeah, it is different, because I think that you write sort of when you've got, because I get melody comes first for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have just had, you know, and then
Mm-hmm.
I would have had to just throw words in there to fit, and those would have been, I guess, that's what happened that day.
The words just fit. Yeah, Stevie Wonder, that goes here, right?
Yeah. I mean, I was excited because I'm such a fan of his, and I was like, oh, I've
Mm-hmm.
never referenced another artist in my song, but if anyone deserves it, he does.
Oh, of course. He's definitely on my bucket list of, seeing an artist, musician perform live, and I crossing my fingers. Now,
You can, he performs a lot.
No, I know, but I want to be there live in the audience. And obviously, with
Yeah,
everything going on, I don't know if there's going to
yeah,
be any
you can. There are. You could be there. There's lots of little things he does. You should just follow him on his website, because he'll do just
audience.
the occasional, like, small thing, like where there's only like 1,000 people there.
That's pretty
Like, it's
cool. I'll have to check
amazing.
that out.
Yeah, it's
Put
really
me on the
amazing.
Stevie Wonder newsletter.
Yeah, you gotta get on the newsletter, girl.
Now, I love your message in Unity in that record. What do you think is the missing link for humankind to realize we are stronger together?
Oh, I really wouldn't say. I mean, I think it's fear, probably. It's just, most people are just afraid of getting hurt. So connection is scary for them, afraid of rejection or abandonment. But if we could trust, the opposite of fear is faith. So I guess if we could trust that life would be better hand in hand than trying to do everything by ourselves, then we might learn that it's safe to trust people. It's safe to lean on people, or to need, and that, a lot of people are taught to need someone is weak, and that's not true. We are animals designed to need one another, scientifically. So the truth is you're courageous if you reach out and ask for help, or talk to people, or try and keep in touch with people, and especially during this time, trying to keep in touch with at least 3 to 5 people a day, via FaceTime, is kind of necessary for your brain health.
Yeah, I definitely miss that human connection for sure sometimes. And still on that same subject, I guess I wouldn't say I've ever had an issue really reaching out to someone and saying maybe that I need them. I think what scares me, like you said, fear, is I feel like there's a temporary factor there. And
Oh,
I want it
really?
to be like forever. Like I want to be able to rely on you always and forever, but there's like that blockage of like, oh, this is temporary. And instead of like seeing it as like, well, appreciate it for what it is now, and don't like imagine the worst in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, so that would mean you have, like, a disorganized attachment strategy. So in the first 10 months of your life, you received inconsistent care.
Wow.
So yeah, so you your perception of the world was all created in the first 10 months of your life, of who you are in the world, and how the world relates to you, how you relate to the world, and your worth in the world. um, and so, yeah, sorry if your mum's listening, but it just means that you got inconsistent care. And so there were times where nobody came when you were crying in your
I might just
crib.
cry right now. Sia, you're like my therapist right now.
I'm really, really obsessed with attachment theory, and I think that it's, going to help a lot of people. Attachment repair is going to help a lot of people, and it can help you too, because that fear that people are going to go away or disappear, that's very normal for someone who had inconsistent care as a child, or who wasn't picked up when they were crying in the crib. Uh, it's very normal, and you can recover from that.
Wow. Yeah, that's what I've learned with therapy, that it's not, it's not like just in therapy alone, it's not like a quick pill that you can take. I guess
No,
yeah, it's a ongoing process, and that's what I'm
exactly.
learning as I'm growing older. Like it's good. It's not, it's a consistent,
Yeah.
it's herbal, you know.
Yeah, it's good if you have a secure base with your therapist, then, slowly but surely you should be able to become more secure. And then hopefully you'll have that experience less. And also then you seek out experiences that will confirm that core belief about yourself, that people can only love you temporarily. So then you like, literally, you will choose people who will do that, so that you can strengthen that core belief. But if you, like, really, really consciously work against your conditioning, and really notice people that you choose, really notice their behavior and did their actions match their words. And I think it would change your life.
Wow, I think you're changing my life right now. Did you always dream about being in the position you're in now?
Well, yes, because I thought, idiotically, I thought that I would that I would be a cool person or a perfect person if I just got famous, and I would be and that my parents would I could go back in time, or that, I don't know, I could.
Look what I did. Yay.
Yeah. And of course it's a huge anticlimactic disappointment when you get to a place where you think your goal was, and you thought that reaching that goal would make you more lovable, or make you more worthy, or make you more I don't know, just make you just the coolest. And then you realize that nothing changes on the inside, that things might change on the outside, but you still have low self-esteem, or you still have like daddy issues, or you still have whatever, you know what I mean? So that they didn't work, that it doesn't work. And so that's why I'm so I'm always warning children about fame and its toxicity, because it's not the answer. And they ask children these days, what do you want to be, and 8 out of 10 of them say famous. They don't even say what for. And that scares the crap out of me, because it's the most disappointing. It's so anticlimactic. So it's an inside job. But yeah, I did always want to be here, but then I got here, and then I became hugely suicidal, because I realized that it didn't mean anything in terms of my innards, my inside work. And then I had to do a whole bunch of inside work, and then and now I feel like I'm in a good place, but I had to do a lot of painful inside work.
Yeah, it's definitely painful.
I think that's why so many people who are famous just turn to drugs or alcohol, or die, because when they reach that goal, it's so disappointing, because you think that something else is going to happen, but it doesn't. You think something on the inside of you is going to change, but it doesn't. Yeah, it's very elusive.
Would you change anything, I guess?
Nah, I mean, nah. The only thing I might have said is maybe I wouldn't have gotten married, but the truth is that that relationship took me so low that I had to learn more about my conditioning and my choices, and I think that actually it helped me so much, because I'll never ever choose again the way that I used to. So that was probably the most painful experience of my life, but I think it might have been also the most important and useful.
I love what you said. I'll never choose again the way that I used to.
Yeah.
That goes deep.
Yeah.
Wow. This is my therapy session. I had to cancel my appointment this week. This is great. Now I've got to ask, you've been a part of Kanye's Sunday service and have been able to experience the family fortress that many people don't get to see or even want to see. Sometimes I feel like scrolling social media, I don't think they want to see a good in the family. What would you say about their family bond and how that has inspired you while growing your family?
Well, I just love them. There's the sweetest. Those girls are the sweetest girls in the whole world, and they just really nice and really protective, and I if anyone wants to come for them, I will fully kick them in the shins. My son just high-fived me.
Aww. I know. I love seeing videos of you and some of these, they're, family parties, and it's Sia, you're always singing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll do it. I for them, I'll do anything. Like, I just want to make myself useful because they, they never ask for anything. They've never asked me for anything. They just been there for me when I was having a hard time, and they didn't, they just they're a really tight knit family, and I think that I mean, I have basically auditioned people by watching them on television for friendship.
But that doesn't work. It could be totally different people behind the scenes.
Well, no, I think with reality TV, you get to see if you're, if they're trustworthy people, you get to see who they really are. And those girls, they let us see way more than most people do.
Mm-hmm.
They let us see them fighting, and those are real fights.
Mm-hmm.
But what I love about them is the repair is that there's always they always show the repair, and that's so important in this day and age, because although we can have conflict with people, it's not about the conflict, it's always about the repair.
The growth.
And yeah, and so I like the fact that they show that their conflicts but also their repairs and how they repair with one another, because I think that's actually good role modeling for all people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And anyone who calls them bad role models, I mean, whatever, you're entitled to your opinion, but anyone who says, like, who comes for them, like saying, like, what are they famous for, or what, like, or they're that they're not worthy of fame. I'm just like, first of all, fame is a job, and it is a toxic and hard job. It's the hardest job, I think, out of all jobs. Like, out of all jobs in the like, just in the entertainment business, like, being famous is so hard. It's toxic. Obviously, it's not as hard as being a doctor or being
it's a toxic relationship.
But it's a toxic thing, and the fact that they manage it as well as they do, and that they work from 5 a.m. till 2 a.m. Like, they work harder than anyone I know. So that's why when people are like coming for them, I just want to just kick them in the shins and just go, oh, you go watch and see how hard they work, and then you get back to me. Because most people are still working an 8-hour, 12-hour day.
Yeah.
I
like how you mentioned repair, because it's so much easier to walk away from situations and to stick around and, like, really work through it together and be adult and mature enough to, like, all right, let's understand each other here.
Yeah, and it's also scary, but also that would be part of your disorganized attachment style. So that part would be the dismissive part. So that's when you experience anyone as rejecting, you immediately become super duper afraid, and you become degrading, dismissive, or devaluing. So, and most easiest thing to do when you're dismissive is you go into dismissive strategy, which is to just be like, F them, move on, and just never talk to them ever again.
I gotta call some people after this interview. Wow. Thank you. Well, congratulations. I know you're a nana now. You're a grandmother. That's a big deal. And I wanted to ask specifically, did you choose the name Nana? Because with my mom, she chose Nana because she didn't want to be called Granny or anything else. So she made sure to instill that in my nephew. Like, I am Nana. I am so young. Do not call me anything else.
Actually, the truth is, I decided not really to talk about it anymore because I realized I had just splurged his news, and it's not my news to tell. But I actually haven't met either of them yet because of quarantine. So, and also they're infants, so they call me nothing yet.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, my dream is to be called Lovey because obviously I'm a total Kardashians nerd. And that's what everyone calls Chris. All the grandchildren called Chris, and I'm like,
I like that.
I'm a wannabe Kardashian.
Lovey. I like that. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today. I'm serious. Like you really kind of got to me in some of these points in the interview. I don't know if I was here to grill you or you were grilling me, but I
I hope I was
appreciate you.
helpful.
No, you were definitely
I think
helpful.
if anyone's listening that is, you can also Google it. It's called disorganized attachment now, but it used to be called fearful avoidant. So if you just Google fearful avoidant, anyone who is listening today who has that strategy, and I used to have that strategy, and I've been working on earning secure, but you can Google fearful avoidant, and you'll be like, oh my God, that's me. So it's really fascinating, the attachment theory, I think, and it's also there is attachment repair available, and so that you can recover. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If you're like one of those people who thinks I can't ever get relationships right, you can, and you will.
Wow. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll do my research. Thank you so much.
Of course. You take care now.
You too. Live 101.5 The Castle Show. Thank you, Sia.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.